Live from San Antonio, Mike Taylor.
Oh, man. I got family scattered out all over the world, literally, the country and the world, and trying to keep up with flights and injuries and new jobs and stuff. How you boys doing? It is Friday. It is Taylor. It is episode 108 as we do this show. For y'all that listen to us live, it is the 28th of July. It's a Friday in the year of our Lord and Savior Mary, 2K23. Opening part of the show brought to you by the official real estate agent. Up Thunderdome on the Mike Taylor Show. It is Hank the Realtor from Vortex Realty. Yeah, there is a shortage of homes all over this world. And if you're thinking about selling your house, taking advantage of the shortage of homes by making yours available and getting some money, well, let Hank run the comps on your place, and he'll get back to you today and tell you what your property is worth. That'll give you a good idea going into this whole process. If you decide to go forth, use our guy Hank. He'll for free run your comps. Mention Thunderdome. No obligations. If you're thinking about selling, what do they call it in the business? Free market analysis. Go get one of those from my dude Hank. Find out what your place is worth and sell that sumbitch if you need to. He serves San Antonio, Bernie, New Braunfels, La Vernia, Floresville, Castroville, all the villas and all the tons and the Pleasantons and everybody else in between. It's Hank Perez. Text him your information. He'll get back to you today. It's Hank Perez, 300-1121. Of course, the area code 210-300-1121. It's at Hank from Vortex Realty. If you need yourself a real estate agent, call Hank.
Come on now, Hank.
Good God.
Y'all ever fly by yourself as a kid?
No, never have. It's funny you say that, though. The roommate was on a flight coming back on Monday.
Yeah.
The person that was seated next to her was like an 8-year-old kid who was flying by himself.
From what town?
From Michigan to back here.
Oh, yeah. That's 3-hour flight.
Yeah, but she said, because my first thought is, like, do they assist the kid? Is there someone to like walk him from plane to gate or gate to baggage claim or any of that? And she said basically there's like a stewardess that just tagged along with him the whole way.
I flew one time by myself as a kid. I was 6. But it was it was from Corpus to Dallas, Fort Worth International.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe Love Field, whatever. I went to go visit my grandma for a week when we were living down in Corpus, and my mom wanted to get rid of my ass, and my grandma wanted to see me, so it worked out great. But rather than make the 9-hour drive, they put Miho on an airplane out of the little dinky airport in those days. This is probably 1981, 82, and flew me from Corpus Christi to Dallas.
Feels like that happened a lot back then and not so much now.
You'll like this. So I was doing a bit. Now, I was a little nervous.
No way.
I decided to make a bit out of it.
Oh, who could have guessed?
I was a little nervous, but I didn't want the stewardess to know that we called them stewardesses in those days.
What do we call them now?
Flight attendant.
Oh, okay.
Half of them are dudes.
Okay.
Dudes messed it up for everybody by deciding they wanted to work on planes too.
Can't we just call the dudes stewards?
I don't know.
Stewards and
I was
stewardess?
told stewardess is no longer. It's a flight attendant.
So it's like secretaries are now office managers.
Sure. And whores are sex
workers.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure. Drugged out whores who turned to sucking dudes off for money are now sex workers.
Well, and drug dealers are now called pharmacists.
Sure. What are pimps now called? Managers?
Pimps.
Street managers? Yeah, just pimps.
Pimping ain't dead. It just moved to the web.
Yeah, they don't want to be. They don't want to be called.
No, there's no need to change that.
Pimp.
I'm still a pimp.
Pimp.
Once a pimp. Always.
So the stewardess, I told her I was a little nervous, right? But I had heard from a buddy at school.
Oh, this is how every good story starts.
Sure, that if you ask them, they might let you sit up front with them.
If you play Abbey Road backwards, it'll tell you Paul is dead.
Sure.
Yeah.
And so I told her, I'm a little bit nervous. Can I have a ginger ale? I'm 6 years old, man. But she's like, okay.
Can I get a Bloody Mary? I need something to take the edge off.
I'm gonna need a Heineken.
I get a gin and tonic.
I need a Stogue. And so she comes back to check on me. I told her, well, I guess she could tell that I was nervous. And so she's like, you know what? Come up here. So they took me up to the front where they sit. They got the little flight.
Little jump seat
up there. I got to sit in the jump seat.
Okay.
It's a 30-minute flight. but I got to do it. I thought I was a badass.
Sure, it's still a good.
No, my twins right now, as we speak, are on a plane. They just got on a plane in Austin, and they're getting ready to fly to Honolulu, back to the hellscape alone. At least they have each other.
Yeah, that helps.
But I've got nervous kid text going on right now while we're on the air.
I got 4 kids to feed.
And I'm having to play it's cool, don't worry about it, you'll get, they'll feed you, because when you're just nervous because it's alone.
Sure.
But I'm like, you got your sister, and well, are they going to feed us? Well, sure, it's an 8-hour flight, man, you're going to get fed, so I'm just okay. So I'm dealing with there's a mini freak out going on.
I will say this, that was the best.
It's a long flight.
But that was the best meal I've ever eaten on a plane. The Hawaiian Air meal.
Yeah. Hawaiian Airlines is great.
Like, it was way better than anything, because I even told Steph originally, I was like, I'm not even going to order a meal. Like, it can't be good. Like, and then
Hawaiian's great.
the roommate got her meal, and I'm looking at it. It's like that Whataburger commercial where she takes the burger and is just eating it, and he gets up and orders another one.
Sure.
Like, as soon as I saw hers and tried a little bit, I was like, Stuart, flight attendant, let me go ahead and get whatever meal you got.
Is a tasty burger.
I've learned going back and forth to the hellscape in the last few years that Hawaiian Airlines is really great. I've also learned that we don't have a lot of great American airlines.
Not so much.
Basically, American, United, and Southwest are kind of like Bud Light, Miller Lite, and the Dos Equis. They are. Our airlines are pretty shitty.
So what's the top of, like, American commercial airline? Like, what's
best one?
Is it Delta?
LG would probably know. I've had better experiences on none of them. They're all
shit.
That's
They
kind of
all
what
have
I was
their own bullshit.
I was about to say, there's not really that separated itself from the rest of the pack.
It's fine. Again, it's Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Dos Equis.
Sure.
That's American Airlines, United, and what'd you say? Southwest?
Delta?
Delta. Yeah, Delta. I mean, it's like buying beer at HEB. It's not craft beer.
What's
It's not good beer.
Doesn't Delta have its own
okay
terminal here at the airport? It's the one that's
I think
I
think American hubs out of here.
Oh, is it American?
I think it's
Okay.
America that hubs here. Fort Worth's own American Airlines. They really used the pandemic as an excuse to be shitbag, to be shitty.
just like every other
All of them
company.
have dealt with walkouts and strikes and low pay and flight attendants getting upset over low pay and shit like that, where then you read about some of these other airlines that are overseas or like other places. You don't love it, leave it. Well, I mean, I'm just giving the facts. Our airlines suck.
It's okay
compared
to compare. Yeah.
The Japanese airlines all blow our asses out of the water. LG's been on, what is the one? ANA, the one you always talk about so good?
Yeah, Al Nippon Airways or something like that.
Nippon.
It's Nippon. Yeah,
Nippon.
It's a Japan. It's a Japan airline, and it's amazing. They literally had like a choice of different foods you could do. It was like a chef contest. They had all these like gourmet chefs with 3 different meals they fed you on your trip to Japan, and then you voted at the end for which meal was the best.
And you know what else I love? They dress great. They dress well. I've seen the ANA crew before. They look good. You know who else looks great? Aero Mexico.
Okay.
They look great. First of all, they're all women, no dudes, and they're all dressed old school, like the old Pan Am. Remember the Pan Am days?
Yeah, the Japan Airlines are the same way. It's all women in old school Pan Am, like skirts and stuff like that.
Yes, with a scarf. I love it.
I like
great.
the nostalgia of it.
It's awesome.
But I think
Not just the nostalgia.
There's some in between of like, I don't need a 3-course chef meal on my flight, but I need something better than what, Southwest peanuts or whatever they offer.
How
now.
many times have you had the fucking gingerbread tasting like coffee cookie?
So awful.
Such a give up.
It's
So cheap.
Yeah.
So cheap.
You nailed it. It's cheap.
Hey, don't hate on the Biscoff now.
The
There
Biscoff.
you go.
good.
It
like
was
those.
good. The first 20
first,
were
sure.
great, but the subsequent 20 have been not so much. I'm burned out on the biscuit.
And
Biscoff.
if you need to take away the biscuits to make sure your doors don't fly off mid-flight, I'm okay with that.
But
Let's save money.
Sure, absolutely. It's anyway. So they're on Hawaiian Airlines, and because they're on Hawaiian, I know that they're going to be taken real good care of. They even play Hawaiian music in the plane.
Yeah, that got
they play
old
little
pretty
misters.
quick. Yeah,
the little misters, but the service is superior. It's great. Aloha. They say aloha. And in the accent too. It's not aloha. It's aloha. It's like a Mexican would say aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
Yeah. Una kupa tia ua. Bring me back a T-shirt. So my kids are taking off as we speak. They'll be fine. They're just nervous. That's a long way for a couple of little... You'll be fine! 11-year-olds. All right, show brought to you in part by R&R Auto Glass. If you crash your plane and bust a windshield, I don't think they can do that. But if it's a car that runs on the road of any sort, whether it's a car, sedan, SUV, van, pickup truck, they can fix it quick. It is R&R Auto Glass, and they got a lot of the great things about them. They're easy to find right by the airport. They take all insurances, so it doesn't matter what you've got. They're super fast. Their service is superior. And they'll give you a discount when you mention me, the Taylor Especial. One of the very best things, though, is they're puro. They're locally owned. I don't mind going into a chain. I don't mind drinking Bud Light on occasion. But if I can get me some locally crafted business, I'm going to do that. And these people are San Antonio-based. San Antonians. Poodle San Antonians. Why wouldn't you support local businesses over a national chain, especially when said local business is superior anyway? It's a no-brainer. R&R Auto Glass by the airport at 281 in Tacoma. Get your vehicles fixed there. Okay. So I don't know if you boys saw this story. We briefly touched on this right before we went on the air. I saw a headline where 3 Marines were found dead in a car. I thought, oh God, this is suicide, or they got murdered, or this is one of them. One of them went crazy and murdered the 2 others and killed himself. I didn't see this coming. These 3 Marines at Camp Lejeune, which is, where's that? Raleigh? Where's Camp Lejeune?
Yeah, North Carolina.
It turns out they died of carbon monoxide poisoning. I mean, wait, what? How do 3 dudes all die of carbon monoxide poisoning? That's what the local sheriff's office has set up there. Pender County, I just looked this up. Yeah, you're right outside of Raleigh. Found these 3 dudes Sunday morning in a Lexus parked outside of a Speedway gas station.
Oh, that's even
creepy, right?
How do you, if you're out in the open at a gas station, how do you die of carbon monoxide poisoning?
So autopsies have been done. The medical examiner's office up there has ruled all 3 deaths were the result of carbon monoxide poisoning. And that's thrown everybody for a loop. Like, how the hell did this happen? And the sheriff said it seems accidental. And investigators so far have found nothing else that shows that it's something else, such as a suicide or murder-suicide or something. These were 3 Lance Corporals, a 19-year-old kid from Madison, Wisconsin, a 23-year-old kid from Oklahoma, and a 23-year-old kid from Florida, all stationed at Camp Lejeune, about 30 miles from where they were found dead in the car. They were motor vehicle operators with the Combat Logistics Battalion 2, Combat Logistics Regiment 2, 2nd Marines Logistics Group. These aren't dumbasses. And there was a missing persons report filed Sunday when they didn't report back. The parents were going crazy. Mom drove all the way out there to look for them, and then they found them all dead in a car 30 miles away. So I don't know how this happened. You hear about people taking their lives all the time on purpose, like parking a car in a garage and like shutting the door and just let the car run. You just go to sleep. It's like supposedly not painful or anything. You just pass out.
That's what they say.
Yeah, but this car is out in the open. So
I've never heard of that.
That's unbelievable. I need to know more. I don't want to presume anything, but that sounds unbelievable.
I mean, it's got to be something. It's got to be some kind of leak or something in the car's exhaust that it's getting into the cab. But how long would you have to sit in the car for that to happen?
Maybe they all got fucked up. You know, they were drunk. They all just passed out. You know,
passed out outside of a gas station.
Maybe there was a leak in the car and they didn't know. Is that possible?
See, that's what I'm saying. I've never heard of it. Yeah.
I'm asking. It's all dumb questions at this point because I don't know shit about cars.
If the exhaust pipe was clogged up somehow, like maybe they backed into a wall or something, that could have done it.
I mean, full disclosure, I passed out in a car. Remember at the Whataburger? I told you the story. Me and my buddy Rudy, we passed out in the line. It's a miracle his foot didn't come off the gas because he passed out too and he was driving.
Well, off the brake.
Yeah.
It's a miracle it didn't go on the gas.
Right. Yeah. It came off the brake. All of a sudden we're here. Excuse me, sir. Could you guys pull up? We're passed out.
Shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. I had to self evaluate when I got home that night. I scared myself. You know, I had an uncle that died in the 70s from carbon monoxide poisoning, and it was ruled a suicide. And to this day, my family, my dad's side, the surviving members of my family, and I think even his mom, she passed away, my grandma, but they all were very skeptical, but just couldn't believe they thought he was set up. They thought he was like beaten up. He had gotten a fight, right? My uncle. And I've been told the story, but it's years. It's all sketched now because it's so long ago. It was mid-70s. I was probably, it might have been early 70s. I'm not even sure if I was born yet. My dad had 2 older brothers that died that were way older than him. My dad was a fun baby, you know, later in my grandma's life. And both my uncles died before. I never even had a chance to meet them. But one of them died through carbon monoxide poisoning. And the story was that he had gotten into a fight in a bar or something and had gotten whooped up pretty bad. And they ruled the death suicide. But my grandmother was convinced that he just passed out in the car because he was beaten up or set up. He was beaten to hell, beaten unconscious, and they threw him in the car and left it running on purpose. God, we'll never know. Just a horrible story. Those are young dudes. I saw that, and I just wanted to mention it. That's it. There's nothing else to say. That's awful, and I am curious to see what else comes out of that, where it's 3 healthy dudes, big lads from the Marines, in a car in the open.
Well, a quick Google search shows that's not as rare as I suspected.
Really?
Actually, carbon monoxide poisoning.
Like he was saying, if the exhaust is plugged,
if there's no airflow, or if they're just in an area where there's not a whole lot of natural airflow. I mean, they wouldn't have even had to have been backed up close enough to clog the exhaust, or if there was a leak, like we were saying,
right?
in
Like
the exhaust.
Like I said, you take a big shop rag or a towel and just shove it up in there.
Isn't that what,
That'll create a fire at least at some point, won't it? Again, these are all dumb questions by me.
I thought that's what. No, I guess when people do it intentionally in a closed garage, they want the exhaust coming out the back so they wouldn't block it, right?
I guess.
I don't know.
These
are not waters.
Things I've never wondered. Yes, but that's just an awful story, and that's it. All right, let's lighten the mood. Well, actually, no. Let's talk about more death.
Oh,
there's actually a lot of death. I'm going to say pour some out for the death of Hugh. Hugh the Manatee. I'm just quick kicking y'all with some news items. We're going to get some other stuff here in a minute. But have you heard about Hugh the Manatee?
Educate me on Hugh the Manatee.
See, this is the result of me no longer paying attention to politics anymore. I'm very drive-by with politics now.
You have way more time for Manatee news now?
Yes. This is one of the results. I told you this year I've decided to lay way off politics.
It's going to be way more healthy. I wish I could do the same.
Yeah. I read about politics next to never these days.
You up to speed on this whole Hunter Biden plea deal?
Couldn't care less.
Falling apart in court.
Could not care less.
The judge has got a spine.
Couldn't care less. But when we lost Hugh the Manatee yesterday.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. This is serious. This is a somber moment.
I know. It is somber, and I shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, why are you laughing? You're the one that was close to Hugh.
I'm about to tell you what happened to him. How do you think of all the ways for a 38-year-old manatee? He's in captivity.
Okay, that was my
first
question.
He's in a marine aquarium.
Captivity or
he's in captivity
out in the wild.
Yep.
Captivity.
And he's in there with a bunch of his mates for all the kids to come see the manatees swimming around. And all of a sudden, he's 38, which is not young for a manatee, but he did not die of natural causes.
Okay. Some little kid threw candy in the aquarium and it clogged he choked on it.
No.
Okay. Was it something foreign that was introduced to his habitat? Like, did someone throw some? Okay. He watched this, he watched the Oppenheimer movie and was just so depressed and just said, you know what? I'm done. I'm giving up.
The 70 millimeter didn't work either in his film. And
he's out.
Just nothing works anymore. This world sucks. So the people that have handled, he's been in this aquarium for 27 years. Just floats around all day and eats.
Where at?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Sure. I should have guessed that.
And the people that have handled him for years that love him, they noticed that he wasn't acting himself. he was just kind of listless and just seemed to be uncomfortable and then he croaked.
We got long haul COVID.
Well, no. He got raped in the ass. There's no way to. I just
No,
ripped
there are other
he got
ways
raped by another manatee.
Stick your cock up her ass.
Okay, and
So he had a
how does that result in
because
death?
they gave him an autopsy and he had a serrated colon.
It's the only reason we're doing this story.
No, I love marine
Oh,
life.
okay. I'm sorry.
You know that.
That's right.
And
I
this
do know
this
that.
is the news item. I cover the non-political
That's what
news.
we do here.
That's right. The death. This has come down in the USA Today. The death of Hugh.
Why does USA Today need to report on this?
I love animals. People like me need to read this kind of thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm disinterested in Hunter Biden. The death of Hugh, a 38-year-old
Let
manatee
me read about manatee
who
rape.
died at a Sarasota, Florida's Moat Marine Aquarium and Laboratory. His death could have been prevented. According to new records that detail the beloved animal's death, Hugh died from a 15-centimeter rip in his colon and other traumatic injuries caused by a sexual encounter with another manatee.
Okay, 15 centimeters, what? 2.54 centimeters in an inch, right?
Yeah.
So what's that? 7-inch laceration in his colon?
In a colon,
Good
yeah.
God.
He was violently raped by another manatee in the butt.
I want me
and
some glory
it
hole.
destroyed his colon, and they didn't know it. Must have happened overnight or something, and he just bled out from the ass out. It was a much larger male manatee, they say.
Internal bleeding,
And
so
they were
couldn't see
able,
it.
they were able to study the other manatee that he was hanging with and realize, oh, he's recently had intercourse. They could tell that. But there's no other female manatees in the tank, so he violently raped Hugh. Yeah. The name of the other manatee, Shaquille.
No.
I'm kidding.
Okay. I was about to say, let's treat this story with the
I want me some glory hole.
somber tone it deserves.
Pour some out for Hugh the manatee. I'm going to start doing a bit where these are news items I cover now because I don't cover politics anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Manatee rape and
Yeah. Dead Marines.
Okay.
It sucks.
Well, that's kind of politics.
Marines?
Yeah, military. It's
I
definitely.
don't know who
I
they
don't
voted
feel like.
for.
I don't feel like the death of 3 Marines should be compared to the death of 1 manatee.
It's not. That's why I led it with the Marines.
Fair.
Yeah. I put Hugh on page 2. All right. Show brought to you by Elite Collision of Bernie. Gosh, they're right off of the rim. They're just right north of the rim off of I-10. They're technically in Bernie, Texas. Exit 542, about 10 minutes past the rim right off of I-10. It is Elite Collision of Bernie, the official collision center of Mike Taylor Live. They are longtime Thunderdumbers, and we're super stoked to have a partnership with them. Family-owned and operated, San Antonio people. Weekly appointments are available. They work with all insurances known to man, and they'll do private pay too. So whether you have a little collision, you need a little fender bender, you need a paint job, maybe hail, these boys over there will fix it quick. It is Elite Collision of Bernie. When your car gets beat, call Elite. It's EliteCollisionOfBernie.com, EliteCollisionOfBernie.com. So, pobrecito.
What was the-
Hugh the manatee? But imagine, because, people have anal sex all the time.
Yeah,
but to
that's a
literally
thing.
have the colon lacerated, I don't think Jesus wanted that. That was unfortunate. And that other manatee should be ashamed of himself. Murderer. Can't you
we'll get
fix
back-
a manatee? They should have fixed him.
What do you mean? Oh, like give him the
Neutered
snip?
him. Yeah, he should have snipped him. They snip humans, snip manatees. That way he doesn't have the urge to do that.
Okay, this may be another
What a
dumb
psycho
question.
the other manatee was.
Do they? I mean, they have to do that, like in some zoos, to prevent, because some they want to breed so they can get pups or whatever and send them out, sell them to other zoos.
Yeah.
But surely, if this manatee had a history of aggressive sexual behavior,
I don't know.
surely there's something that could have been done about that. Castrate him like a.
Well, they're all second guessing
Bull calf.
themselves now, the people that have taken care of these manatees. They're real docile. I've seen them in the wild in Florida.
Yeah, they're hyper protected,
Kayak.
right? Yeah, you're not even like it's a.
Oh,
It's
hyper.
a,
Yeah.
like a felony to even touch them.
Like a bald eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kill one, you go to jail. And they're real sweet. I mean, they're real slow moving, you know?
What do they eat? They don't eat ham, right?
No, they don't eat ham.
Okay,
I don't think you can throw them.
I'm trying to figure out what we
You
need
can't
to send
this
to the
family
aquarium.
a ham. Send this family a sardine. I don't know. What do they eat? I don't know.
Rock with algae on it? I don't know.
Maybe algae. Maybe probably vegetarian.
I feel like they don't seem like
I'm thinking they're
massive
vegetarian.
carnivores. Yeah, they got to be
They're
awesome.
herbivores. They
They're
eat
herbivores,
kelp
okay.
and whatnot.
There you
Okay,
go.
cool. Well, that other manatee finally needed some meat.
Well, send them a kelp salad.
Send them a kelp salad. All right. In other news,
Yes, please. What else? What other news
in
besides
sports news,
aquatic rape stories?
it's a done deal. Oregon's going to the Big 12.
Oregon?
Yeah,
Oregon?
according to several reports. Yeah, Oregon. Yesterday, when we found out Colorado was coming, now it's all over the place that Oregon is coming to the Big 12.
I can't believe they
That
would.
conference is just
I can't believe they would break up the Civil War rivalry like that.
Oklahoma broke up Bedlam.
Yeah, but that's a move to the SEC. I mean, just to move to the Big 12,
That shows you how shitty the Pac-12
it does. And it shows you how little faith they have in their commissioner to negotiate a halfway decent TV rights deal.
I don't think Oregon has released. They have not admitted to it, but it's all over the place.
I
right
can't believe. I mean, if Oregon goes, so the Arizona schools, Utah, Oregon State, the Washington schools.
Washington's now that this has happened.
Washington talking to the Big Ten.
Well, somebody. They're desperate.
It would have to be the
Washington's
Big Ten
looking
if
for-
it's not the Big 12.
Washington's looking for love right now.
You know, the best thing about all this is maybe eventually this is what will drive us to our 4-quadrant conference system. Like we just need a northeast, southeast, south, or northwest, southwest.
It's all fucked up regionally now, though.
Right.
And you're going to have contracts. You can't all of a sudden just send everybody back to their region.
No, I don't think it would
and
be
have
sending
a
it.
Northwest region.
I don't think
right?
it would be sending it back, but I mean, I think with the basically in name only, your 4 super conferences are going to end up being SEC, Big 10, ACC, and Big 12.
Right.
And Pac-12 is going to be closer. The AAC might have more representation in a 12-game playoff than the Pac-12
All right. This
with
is
all these losses.
according to the Oregonian. Oregon is leaving to go to the Big 12. Oregon State has been aggressive in reaching out to the Big 10 and the Big 12 to go to. It would appear there's no avenue for Oregon State to gain entry into the Big 10. However, Oregon State has ongoing negotiations as we speak with the Big 12.
You know how awesome that would
both
be
Oregons.
for specifically Big 12 baseball? Adding Oregon State to that conference in
awesome.
baseball? That would be amazing. That's about the only sport it would be worth a damn
So
in.
you boys probably don't cover frogs today.
I don't catch frogs today regularly. No.
Podcast I listen to. They're also reporting today Oregon is leaving the Pac-12, heading to the Big 12 conference per reliable source.
Which one's frogs today? Who does it?
Oh, there's a bunch of them. It's a
Okay.
crew of dudes, and they
Okay.
rotate it every day. They have like different shows and stuff.
So the Pac-12
It's
is
like deep inside frog sports.
That's yeah. It's like what JJ Perez does with UTSA with the Roadrunners.
Yeah, pretty much.
Deep ingrained connection. So the Pac-12 is basically left. I mean, if you lose Oregon, which it sounds like is close to a done deal,
Yep.
Oregon State wants to jump ship.
Yep.
The Washington schools have got to be looking, at least UW, maybe not Washington State.
Right.
You're basically going to be left. Their only option will be to try to merge with the Mountain West. Because who else are you? And even, I mean, that gets them nowhere. But at least the Mountain West gets them back in Colorado with Colorado State.
Yeah.
It would get them San Diego State, who they've been rumored to be flirting with for a while now.
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me, maybe, no, because why would Gonzaga even entertain joining the Pac-12 as a basketball-only program?
The Zags may come to the Big 12.
Well,
as
the
a
Big
basketball
12
program.
told, from what I read yesterday, it sounded like the Big 12 kind of told Gonzaga, we're not interested in a one-sport-only member.
Yeah, well, I get that.
And that, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And
We're not going to,
that's why I think it might, if the Pac-12 was, I mean, the Mountain West is their only option now in terms of poaching people. Because you're not no one from the AAC is going to the Pac-12 now. Why would they?
God, no.
I mean, in name, it would be an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it would be a better media deal. Like if SMU went to the Pac-12, SMU, Tulane, UTSA. That's Dallas, San Antonio, New Orleans.
Everything is on the table right now.
Yeah.
Everything. It pretty. We knew it was coming, but it's amazing when as it happens with each one of these turns of the table with these alignments. It still jazzes the shit out of me, even though it shouldn't, because we've seen it coming. But now that it's happening, it's really exciting.
It's exciting to me that the main issue with the Pac-12 in terms of TV deals is they're 2 hours behind the prime slots for college football. So if you're starting a game at 11 a.m. Central Time, that's 9 a.m. You can't have that window on the West Coast.
Right.
So that immediately removes them from early window games. Mm-hmm. You're not going to start a college football game at 9 a.m. local time.
I know.
If you
that was a problem for Colorado being out there. We don't want to be.
Well, we don't.
We're near Texas. Fuck these 9:30 starts.
See,
that ain't cool.
That's why the leverage that the Pac-12 has lost, obviously through the teams that have left them, both the LA schools and now Colorado, but also just the geographical limitations of their prime TV windows. There's what network is going to throw money at them to catch a San Diego State, Washington State, 9 p.m. Central Time kickoff? The Hallmark Channel?
Be Puma and the quarterback's mom watching.
But basically.
Pretty much.
And I will be, because Pac-12 After Dark is pretty entertaining.
I mean, I caught a few games only because I lived in Hawaii, but not this past season. So, but the thing is that we're getting ready to expand the college format. They're getting ready to open it up to what? The Big 8 conferences, the top 8 champions get a bid in the postseason or whatever. How many conferences?
I think it's
6.
It's 5 plus the one automatic from whoever's left, right?
Now, if UTSA wins the American Athletic,
they're in.
They're in.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The AACs, they get an automatic bid by winning the championship of the conference.
I thought it was.
College. It's not like, while we may have 20 teams in the Big 12 at some point, obviously they can't play each other every year. And it's not like it prevents people from going to the playoffs because it's expanding anyway. And hell, it may expand again in the next 5 years. We may go to 16 teams at some point. What is it now? It's 12, right? 12.
It's going to 12.
I think it's the 8 conference champions plus an independent, and like
I could have sworn
4 at-large bids.
I thought they only opened.
That's what I believe.
The automatic bids to the 4 major, and then they were taking the next highest ranked out of every other conference, and those were your automatics. I can't remember.
I thought it was
what
conference champions, then some at-large bids.
But that would mean like the Sun Belt champion is getting an automatic playoff spot, or the Mountain West
I don't know where it
champion.
stops.
Well, because there's only, what are the 8 conferences? Big 10, Big 12, SEC, ACC, Pac-12. That's your Power 5.
Right
and
now,
then your other AAC, Mountain West, Conference USA. That's it.
I got news for you. I mean, I think you would agree.
That's the 8.
Whoever comes out of the leftover Pac-12, I'd put them up against the MAC champ any day.
And the MAC would there's 9.
The MAC
so I don't think that's...
The MAC would whoop whoever went. Miami, Ohio would probably beat Arizona's ass if they played today.
Let's not get crazy.
Well,
Utah's been a top 10 team back-to-back season. Utah's still...
Okay, Utah. That's fine. But, I mean, Utah's probably in panic mode right now.
Yeah. Or they're looking around and saying, we can be the dominant force in whatever this conference looks like. But what's the value of that when you're playing San Diego State and...
It's easier
Air Force.
Easier to get to the playoffs.
Colorado State,
You can get to the playoffs.
And then you just get waxed.
It's unbelievable. So the Roadrunners just need to chill, go play in the AAC, and let it all fall where it falls. All right. Show also brought to you in part by HardwickMortgage.com, the official mortgage company of Mike Taylor Live. Is Brad Hardwick and the boys over at Hardwick Mortgage. If you're looking to purchase land, call them. If you're looking to purchase maybe a new or used manufactured home on some land, Hardwick Mortgage, they do that too. And, of course, regular inner-city homes too. Home values have increased over the years in these parts significantly. And maybe you've got some equity built up. Go find out how much equity you have in your home and let Hardwick Mortgage help you out to figure out what you can get pre-qualified to do. Maybe you need some money to pay off other debts and put some cash in your pocket, sell your house, and let Hardwick Mortgage help you do it. In the market for anything that requires a mortgage guy, go to Thunderdome's people. It is Hardwick Mortgage. Information presented for informational purposes. This is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Information and/or dates are subject to change without notice. All loans are subject to credit approval. Other restrictions may apply. As a result of refinancing, your total finance charges may be higher over the life of the loan. Visit hardwickmortgage.com for more information. It is Hardwick Financial Services, NMLS ID 1972012, hardwickmortgage.com, hardwickmortgage.com.
Okay, we were both wrong.
Okay, that's what I get for... This is all coming down as we speak.
Right. But in terms of the 12-team playoff format, I thought it was
8.
So it's not. It's what I said, but it's not exactly how I said it. They're allowing for 6 conference champions to get automatic bids. So,
Okay.
Ideally or logically, you would think that is
6.
all 5 of the Power 5 conferences and then the highest ranked other conference champion, like I said.
It's just the highest ranked schools,
Right,
regardless
so-
of conference.
Exactly. So I think there's a very good chance we take the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, and ACC winner, and then the 5th and 6th spots could be the AAC and the Sun Belt or the MAC.
Correct, which
Like,
is fair.
They could jump the Pac-12 now
Which is
because
fair.
I mean, outside of Utah, there's not a real threat. I guess moving for one more year,
Yeah.
but the playoff doesn't kick off till next year, so all of
Right.
this is going to change.
This creates it's fair. That's what's fair. You just can't all just let whoever. Well, if you win the SEC, you automatically go. Again, you have to. This highly unlikely, but what if the SEC all of a sudden has a horrific year, and Notre Dame is an independent, or Miami, Ohio's clearly good. The next Ben Roethlisberger's their quarterback, and it prevents the SEC from just getting in no matter what.
Does that mean?
Which they still will because they're the SEC, but it prevents it because it's fair.
Sure.
It gives
On
everybody
paper,
a
it's
fair
fair.
shake.
And
on
we all
paper.
feel like we
all
know-
Right.
But you mentioned Notre Dame there, and I hadn't even thought about. Does
They're
that
an
mean
independent.
they're not eligible for any automatic bids?
They're going to have to qualify.
They're going to have
the
to
committee's
be one
gonna
of
have to
the
buy their,
other 6 at-large teams.
or they can just quit being a bunch of fucking arrogant assholes and join a conference already. Don't they play other sports in the AAC?
In the
ACC,
ACC.
yeah.
Yeah. And they also have a scheduling agreement with the ACC where they play 4.
Yeah, just join the damn ACC.
I think it's 4 or 5 ACC teams a season.
And as I say that, Jack Swarbrick just announced he's the longtime AD. He's retiring at the end of the year. They got to find a new AD. And if you're Notre Dame, you've gone it alone all this time. There's so much turmoil. Maybe ironically, maybe this is the time to. Oh no, we're gonna sit right here and see where everything goes.
What would be the benefit?
Yeah,
of,
don't just jump to something.
You're not going to make more media
Right.
money by joining the ACC. You've got
Not the
your,
ACC,
you've got your
no.
not even the SEC. I would think they make more payout with their individual deal with NBC than they would as part
Maybe,
of a
yeah.
collective in the SEC.
Right. And I say it, and I call them arrogant and stuff because I just.
Well, they are. It's Notre Dame.
But still, they got the money.
Sure.
It worked out. NBC paid them $1 billion, so they can afford to be arrogant.
And how many
I
playoff
get
appearances have they made as independents in the last 20 years, 10 years? Right.
Yeah. So it's benefited
More than
them.
Texas.
Yes. Well, TCU's got more than Texas, Bubba.
Okay, fair. You're going to hold on to that forever.
I gave you sports facts. That's all I did.
How'd that season end up? How'd that wrap up for you?
Well, my school was playing on the last day of the
They
year.
were. They
Nobody
sure
else's
were.
was except the ones that were so superior. All right, Puma walked in and fired off an opinion about a movie that I didn't even realize you had not seen yet.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanted tell Thunderdome what you told me when you walked in. You
I
had
said-
I got a hot movie.
I guess I think the first thing I said when I put my shit down, I said, "You got a hot movie opinion."
Right, and I thought, well, there's the 1040 segment.
Yeah,
right
there it is. Wolf of Wall Street, not one of Scorsese's best.
Okay, you need to be more. Okay, give it a ranking.
I would say
Scale of 1 to 5, with a 5 being Shawshank,
1 to
and a
5.
1 being
1
the
to
worst thing
5,
you've
it's
ever
a
seen.
it's a 3. I mean, 1 to 10, it's a 6. Like it. The reason I hadn't watched it for so long is in a past life, I might or might not worked for an alleged con man who specifically ran seminars teaching people how to get rich quick.
What did you
And,
do for him?
We ran all their marketing. I mean, we did all of their I mean, we did $18 million a year worth of media buying to run 30-minute paid programming infomercials.
That scam artist home building guy.
Okay, allegedly, because he's litigation happy. Let's keep a name out and throw allegedly into everything. But yes, a man who has been sued multiple times for similar actions of Jordan Belfort. Even to the point where
good money.
He held a company screening of this movie to not show the employees how this is going to end, but to celebrate. Like, look, this is why we do what we do. Look, this is our role model. This is our leader. Mm-hmm. And so the roommate and I both worked there for years and decided, don't need to go to the company screening of this. I don't think we ever really need to watch the movie.
And he screened Wolf of Wall Street.
That's correct.
Because that's how he wanted his company to behave. A movie about how this is not how to behave.
That's correct, yeah.
That showed the egregious, over-the-top,
but he wanted
orca-like behavior.
Very orca-like. But steps beyond dolphin.
Stratford. What was the name of the company?
Stratton Wealth, Stratton House, Stratton something. Name, I watched it last night and I already forgot. No, the movie is entertaining. It
was a made-up name. It was based on nothing.
No, yeah. But I mean, that was the real name of the company.
When they founded the company, they acted like these were people that were on the Mayflower.
Right, yeah. We carved our names into Plymouth Rock. Yeah.
He randomly made those names up.
Okay, so
everything about the company was bullshit.
The actors in it, I loved. Loved, what's his name? Friday Night Lights guy as the FBI agent.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner as his dad was the best character in the entire movie. Mad Max.
$450,000, Jordy? On sides? Those are for sides. Jonah Hill's
okay. Jonah's amazing. Great as what's his name?
The dude that plays the drug dealer is amazing. He's fantastic.
John Barenthal. Again, the actors and the roles themselves, I enjoy. Okay, and I didn't realize
the cameo.
I didn't realize he was only in the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie.
Just a cameo.
Right.
That's all it is.
So
jerk off 5 times a day.
You got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Yeah. I've already jerked off twice this morning. Okay, so like there's a bunch of good...
You're telling me this movie sucks?
Listen, there's a bunch of good one-liners, but the way the movie had always been described to me is that it was a work of art. It's a Scorsese film.
I don't call anything art.
Well, there's definitely separation between the Mario movie and Schindler's List. One of those is art, and the other is a movie.
Sure, a film versus a movie.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
And so this had always been described more to me as film and not a softcore orgy movie. And that's the other thing. If you want to watch montages of orgies, just watch porn. Like, it felt like the first hour of the movie was basically just to get you horned up to keep your attention because it's a 3.5 hour movie or whatever it is, 3 hours. It just felt very, as someone who enjoys gratuitous orgy scenes, it seemed like it was a few montages too many to really drive the point home that these guys were out of control.
You've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, correct?
Of course, yes.
The scene,
what's y'all's ratings? 1 to 5 or 1 to 10?
4.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think LG agrees with you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
It's just a lot of gratuitous,
like
over the top stuff.
Yeah, a lot of drug. Like, it's basically it's drug use, it's sex with very, very, very thin storyline because the guy he's just a con artist. There's not a whole lot of deep character. Yes.
It's very fun to watch.
There's not a whole lot of deep character development or anything. It's all surface level. There's no more layers of that movie whatsoever.
It can't all be Radiohead.
But I agree.
As popcorn fun movies go, that's at the top.
It is. But
the
it's
entertainment
not,
values.
Like, even like Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights, a lot of gratuitous sex and orgy scenes, whatnot, and drug use. But at least it was telling a layered story with character development, with guys that you saw grow and evolve for better or worse. Like, it had more of a actual message to tell you as a viewer. Wolf of Wall Street was literally just, let's do drugs and have sex for 3 hours, and you'll walk out of this. Oh, and Jordan Belfort makes a cameo at the very end. Boom,
it's
movie
called
over.
Cocaine.
I expected more of it from the way everyone had always described it to me.
It's a movie about 1980s bloviation. It's a movie about how toxic masculinity ran rampant in this country and in this world, to be fair, in the 80s with the rise of cocaine. The South American, you want to get deep, it was the South American drug lords that really started bringing cocaine into the States in the mid-'70s in mass. And once cocaine got into the system of America in the early 80s, that was it. We all turned into a bunch of fucking Jordan Belforts. People that, like, everybody did blow in the 80s, certainly that I knew.
I used to suck dick for coke.
That was over 18.
And under.
Well, not everybody. Everyone. Like, every adult in my life, I'm pretty sure did blow in the 80s, at least recreationally.
Or,
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I don't think that's as insane to me. So the emphasis...
And that affected every company in the country.
Sure.
Every CEO in America in 1985 was on the blow. On the blow. Well, I mean, that's... Okay, are there exceptions? Sure. Pat Robertson maybe wasn't on cocaine.
Or he was the biggest user.
He was selling bullshit, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was the cocaine decade. It was all over the NBA, pro football.
And how many times do I need to see
businesses?
How many times do I need to see one of them snorting coke out of a chick's ass for me to get that? I think I got that early in the film. Like
it's an over-the-top film. I think it's on purpose, though.
Sure. And I think that is, there's nothing wrong with being, exploitive of the topic to be over the top to get you to understand it.
Yeah.
But I just always assumed there was more of a dramatic emotional attachment to the story being told, which is not the case whatsoever.
No, not the case. Did y'all love Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Similar vein, deeper.
Way deeper.
Yeah.
Way. Pulp Fiction is way more layered of a story.
And I liked Wolf, but I wouldn't have it ranked over Pulp.
No.
Or what else did you mention a minute ago? Oh, Boogie Nights. That's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
That's one of my top 50 favorite movies.
Oh, that's a Rushmore movie.
All right, segment also brought to you by San Antonio City Soccer Club. I have an announcement, boys. We have a second sponsor to one of the fields.
Someone told me.
Boom.
Do we have a name?
Well, yes. We have a company name.
Okay.
And then that's really the way to do something like this is, I don't want people to get the impression that you individually have to be a sponsor of this show or anything that we support. Get into cahoots. Maybe get a bunch of your coked out Wall Street buddies and y'all go in together and split it. That's fine. However we get the kids taken care of is how we're going to get them taken care of. I can now introduce, well, you know what? Let me run the promo, and then I'm going to make the announcement on the other end of it, because we still need to get 6 more of these fields taken care of at San Antonio City Soccer. Yo, Mike Taylor, SA City Soccer Club out here on the north side off Speck Road. Just built 8 beautiful soccer fields getting ready for the new season. And we need your help. We need to put people's names on these fields. We got 8 of them. So hit me up for information on how to become a sponsor of one of the fields of the official soccer club of Thunderdome, San Antonio City Soccer Club. Okay. And somebody else is taking heed. Joining the newly christened Thunderdome field presented by Sunburst Gymnastics, I would like to introduce to you boys, and no, it's not some dirty-minded show reference. It's called Champions Field. Okay. We now have Champions Field, sponsored by Methodist Healthcare System of San Antonio, Texas.
Very nice.
A giant hospital chain has jumped in here, and they have bought a field. So there it is. We now have 2 of the 8 pitches with sponsors on them. And what you're going to get if you join Sunburst Gymnastics and Methodist Health System, you're going to get massive love from this show for sure. All kinds of, love on this thing and on our socials. But more importantly, thousands of people going up to these soccer fields all the time, way up on 1604 and Blanco off of Speck Road. They built 11 new soccer pitches. We're trying to get 8 of them sponsored. We now have 2 of the 8. What you're going to get are thousands of people. I mean, they literally have, they just announced the fall league. 200 plus teams will play in their fall league. all ages, 4 to 19. And so all these people will see your banner, your signage. You'll get field naming rights. You'll get signage, entrance, signs, field banners, prestigious web link mentions, social media endorsement opportunities, marketing material up the wazoo, stuff you can display in your office, and love from Mike Taylor Live. So thank you to the Methodist Health System, who are also proud sponsors of the barbecue with the Salvation Army. I love that. Thank you so much to Methodist Health System, and shout out to Sunburst Gymnastics, also a supporter of the barbecue. I love it. Thank y'all. Keep that coming in. Okay. We have a couple of celebrity deaths on our hands this week.
Couple.
And Carrie Von Erich Foote.
Oh, no.
Will get us introduced. Pour an Irish car bomb on the block for Sinead O'Connor. She's a dead. Heaven said, it's been 7 hours and 15 days since I took your life away.
Okay, good. The ham hasn't even arrived yet, Carrie.
Hashtag Godspeed. God bless Connor Williams, of all people. Former Longhorns great in Plano Zone, I think, or Coppell.
Coppell.
Okay. And before, he mentioned that. Just because it's Carrie Von Erich, we'll get into Sinead O'Connor and the other big death in music. So I saw, and I showed you this yesterday, they released a promo picture for the upcoming Von Erich's biopic on the Von Erich boys.
Just simply titled The Iron Claw.
Right. Yeah. And we've known that Zac Efron is going to be the leader in this. I think Zach's playing Kevin.
He's playing Kevin.
Kevin, the only living Von Erich who just moved to Bernie.
Yep.
By the way. Zac Efron, who I think is an underrated dude. I like Zac Efron.
He's grown on me.
Yeah, cool. Me, that's the same. Yeah. He's grown on me. I think he's grown as a person.
Yeah, I think he's grown on himself in a sense. Like, I think he always viewed himself as a rising star, child actor, and it made him a douchebag. And now he's kind of realizing,
he plateaued.
I've kind of found my lane.
Sure.
Now.
Did y'all watch the? He does a series on Netflix where he and a buddy go around the world, basically trying to figure out ways to save this planet from itself.
That was the one you told me about. This one. That's the one that he got stuck in Australia and filmed.
Yeah, and he got stuck in Australia during the pandemic. I thought, we'll just make the whole season in Australia because Australia has every kind of landscape you have.
Plenty of things that want to kill you.
Kind of like Texas. There's a desert, there's an ocean, there's a rainforest, there's everything.
There's a prairie, there's an outback.
Sure. So they just made the season in Australia. It's about conservation for, conservationists like me. So Zac Efron's going to play Kevin Von Erich. I did not know until they released this promo picture yesterday, and I saw it and had to show Sam immediately because we both loved the show The Bear. Jeremy Allen White, who is the lead for The Bear, he won the Golden Globe last year for Best Actor in a TV series. I just watched season 2 of The Bear. It's just phenomenal.
I'm telling you, that Christmas episode is the best television I've watched in years.
I already liked Jeremy Allen White because I loved Shameless, and he played one of the kids on Shameless with the great William H. Macy.
Talk about a show that lost its footing.
Yeah, it went way down. That was
borderline unwatchable. At the end.
That's a band that made one too many records.
That's great. Yeah.
Anyway, I ripped the series finale. Watch the first 7 seasons and you'll dig it.
It'd be like if Skinner released a new album with only Donnie left.
That wouldn't be good.
It's not good.
It wouldn't be good. It's the Ma without the new. Anyway, trying to come up with other analogies that make sense. But Jeremy Allen White plays Carrie Von Erich.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
And his look, the only thing I have a problem with
Carrie
exactly,
scowl.
and
Carrie
the
always
hair,
had that scowl.
Always just mean mugging.
Yeah.
The only problem is both those dudes are like 5'8", 5'9".
Fight through that.
Exactly.
The
and
film,
I think I'll be able
that.
to. Right. Yeah. I think I'll be fine.
How tall is Kevin? Like 6'1"?
I think the
Carrie was like 6'3".
I think the shortest Von Erich was 6'2".
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of damn country strong bitches like you.
That's correct.
Yeah. I can't wait for the movie. I don't even know when the hell it comes out.
About the only thing I have in common with their country strong is the height. Outside
tall.
of I'm just
You're
tall.
country strong.
Yeah, country strong, but I mean pea shooters. Like
Well, you're getting older.
it's just natural.
Well,
I've never had.
Well, they were all roided up
That's
and they
correct.
were working out every day and
God,
fighting.
could you imagine if I started doing roids?
Right now?
Yeah.
You'd be dead.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to do it just for. Aren't they legal now? Like you can take anabolic steroids, right?
Rando people?
Yeah.
I think so.
Pretty sure.
I don't know.
Like what if I did?
Talk about pea shooters.
What if,
What
I
are you
know.
talking
That's
about?
what if both
If you
of
got
time
pea
out.
shooters, what do I have?
What if both of us did 6 months of regular steroid use and just bulked up, just for the fuck of it, like Mac on It's Always Sunny, just full body confirmation or full body transformation.
I just wouldn't look right.
I think it'd look fun. You think you wouldn't look right?
You got a big frame though.
Yeah,
you got that
but-
Herman Munster skeleton thing going. You could wear that.
It'd
You
be
could wear
great
that.
to have just the roided up arms, but still a beer belly. So
Lawrence would look good all busted up.
Especially
He'd
if he
look
grew
good.
the hair back out. Just look like a
You would look
Filipino
good, dude.
Adonis.
Yeah, you'd look great, man. Shave all your body hair and
Hell
just go
yeah.
fucking full roids.
If someone's,
Sup?
I think
Let's do a show.
I think we all should get on at least like one steroid cycle and
All
see
right,
what it
that's
does.
our new show bit. We're
Yeah,
all
I
going to
like
do
it.
anabolic
I like it.
steroids.
That's
You,
a
all
good-
right, you start and then get back
Okay,
to
I'll
me.
get back to you.
I'm going to monitor your progress and see how it goes. All right, we have. So Sinead O'Connor's a dead. That's a long way of saying Sinead
Oh,
O'Connor's
yes,
dead.
let's get back to
I
it.
don't have much
Long
on
live
it.
the IRA.
She was nuts. She was very talented. She had mental problems. She had a lot of fuck ups. She could have made a whole lot of hit records had she wanted to. She had mental issues, and I honestly just don't think she gave a shit enough to make. She could have been a massive multi-platinum selling star, but I just don't think she wanted to, which is fine. She
Sure.
just didn't fucking want to.
What year
I'm good.
was it that she did the shredding the Pope picture on SNL?
I think I was in high school.
It was 90s, right? Like earlier
92.
90s. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she was young.
That's the, I mean,
completely bald.
yeah, see, outside of that, I don't have a whole lot for you
Well,
on
just
Sinead
go
O'Connor.
listen to a couple of her songs, and whether you like them or not, you have to. You'll hear
her-
that she's just crazy talented.
Yeah, her music. No, I'm familiar
her
with her
singing is
music,
amazing.
but in terms of like pop culture lexicon, but
Mm-hmm.
what else? I mean, I don't remember another moment from her career.
Being a rebel,
Yeah.
yeah, being buddies with Prince, running around with that whole
that's
scene.
right. Okay, yeah.
She ran around with that whole revolution.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's that was her biggest hit.
If
Nothing
someone-
compares that Prince wrote.
Well, and she never performed it live until last year when she went back
Because
on
she
tour.
did not care.
Right,
And
but
she
she
could have totally
finally-
exploited that song. and
Finally
gotten-
opened up and started playing it live again. And
Yep.
while I was reading, she actually had plans. She had already started working on a new album, and there's recorded tracks that will end up being lost media.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot of artist
Yeah.
work
She was
never gets
already-
released posthumously.
It's like one of those, you know people in your life that are kind of teetering mentally, and it's like, just please, Lord, don't let anything bad happen to him.
Sure.
And then her son killed himself
Right.
about 4 or 5 years ago, and that was it. She went she became a hermit completely, and so
If
who knows why she died, but she died of sadness ultimately.
So if SNL was back live, if there wasn't a Writers Guild, SNL was live tomorrow night, and someone did what she did,
Yeah.
would it even be a tenth of a controversy as it was
I
then?
don't know. It's hard to tell in
I don't
this
think so.
cancel culture world. I know you hate that phrase. I
Well,
don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I
it
have
just
no idea.
Doesn't exist is why I hate it.
I'm just saying, know how we overreact to shit.
Right, but
Did she
it's-
get the Jason Aldean treatment? I don't know.
See, I think there would be more. I think there would be more people that would say, with what we know now about child abuse within the Catholic Church, I think a lot of people would be like, "Good for her. She's standing up for a principled reason." Because back then, I think there were still a lot of people that doubted the validity of her allegations. Of a lot of people's,
Correct.
and they dismissed them as just rumors instead of actually taking it serious, like they should have long before it became documented fact.
Well, that's on the Catholic Church.
Right.
They allowed it to happen. All right.
That's why I don't think it would be a big deal now.
Oh, we have another death in music, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, a moment here for Live Oak Vodka. Drink it responsibly. Don't drink it the way Sinead O'Connor did. These boys at Live Oak, Beeville, Texas's own, they got a 91 score in the Ultimate Spirits Challenge, is what I should say, last year in 2022. Highly recommended vodka. We just had a big taste testing on Wednesday out at McFinnigan's. This thing is very clean. And I'm a vodka drinker. I can tell the difference between clean vodka and swamp water vodka, and Live Oak's the shit. It's good, and it's Texas, and just good, too. So support Live Oak Vodka. Whenever you drink vodka, remember to drink Thunderdome's vodka, Live Oak Vodka. Ask for it at your bar. Make sure they got it. They don't, let us know. It is the official vodka of Thunderdome Live Oak. And we'll end with the other music death. The great Randy Meisner has died, one of the founding members of the Eagles, who he was the one that sang most of their mega hits in the 70s. Take It to the Limit. Take it to the limit.
It's also,
one more time.
It's also the song that led to him leaving the band.
He has died at the age of 77. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Randy was...
Doesn't sound good.
No. He was the dude in the... Obviously, the Eagles with Glenn Frey, Beast Texan Don Henley.
Mm-hmm. But their ability to write and flesh out the songs, because I think Meisner wrote like a minimal amount of those lyrics, and then they took it and ran with it and filled out the rest of the song and the arrangement.
Yeah, but he sang most of those tunes in the early days of the band. Desperado.
All the high harmonies, the
one
high
of these,
notes.
One of these nights. Yeah, I can't. I wouldn't. I don't need to be trying to do that.
It was the way
he got when they got really crazy big. He was like Sinead O'Connor. He's like, yeah, I'm good, dude. Y'all, we're too big right now.
So they were doing.
I don't want to be this famous.
Did you watch the documentary that's out about them?
No, I probably should.
It's amazing. First of all, the Eagles catch so much shit from my generation and like a younger Gen X and down. I think it's purely because of Big Lebowski. Because it's been a long day and I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
Yeah.
When the cab guy is playing the Eagles.
Jeff Bridges, the actor, fucking loves the Eagles.
That's the whole joke. Like that's the thing. Like it's literally it's just pointing out that sometimes being a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian is not going to get you anywhere. In fact, it's going to get your ass kicked out of a cab in the middle of a highway where you have nowhere to go. Like that's the whole message there.
I don't think baby boomers that were millennials' ages in the 70s give two shits about millennials hating on the Eagles, though. I mean,
no, and that's why I think
they're just idiots. You can't. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think it's become it's the trendy stance to take as the Eagles suck. But I mean, one of the first music memories I have is my parents playing Eagles records, vinyl albums, as a kid growing up in the house. And the first time I heard "Life in the Fast Lane." And started asking questions because I can't listen to hip hop, but I can listen to a song that talks about lines on the mirror, lines everywhere.
Yeah.
It's called cocaine.
Saying, haven't seen a goddamn thing. Like, oh, we can listen to that, but still can't listen to some other art that references similar actions and activities.
I can picture my father's boss right now in the early 80s. Selling penny stocks to people on the telephone while listening to the Eagles.
That checks out.
The 80s.
No, the documentary, what's his name? Meisner, apparently they were setting up a encore for a show.
Yeah.
And it's Glenn Frey, it's Frey, Henley, and Meisner deciding what they're going to play for the encore.
Yeah.
And they're all telling him, like, we're playing Take It to the Limit. You got to play Take It. We're fucking playing it. And Glenn Frey, Meisner was like, no, I'm not doing it. And apparently he allegedly had been partying late into the morning and didn't want to stress his vocal cords to hit the high notes.
Yeah.
And basically it was Glenn Frey that gave him the very, I hate this mentality whatsoever, but it's, people paid good money to come hear you sing that one song, Rit. You gotta, or Randy, you gotta play it. We're playing it. There's no choice. You're playing the fucking song. And that was, they did it and he left the band shortly after that.
Well, he should have. Yeah. And I get why they wanted him to play it.
Sure. Yeah. It's nobody's wrong there, but nobody's right either. It's just an unfortunate way to end the run in the band there.
It's all good. I do think that, like, I can relate to Randy, because you get to a level of fame and you have a look at your bank account and you think,
why do I need this?
This is hard. You have to really, if you want to be a super band that lasts 30 years, you got You have to act like a fucking rock star nonstop. It's new music, new music, new music. And those guys all did it. And they all went solo and kicked ass and did all their own things. And it was so everybody worked out for everybody. Well, Randy's a dead.
Send a ham to all the former members.
Send a ham to him and send a kelp sandwich to Hugh the Manatee. All right.
Grilled kelp sandwich.
That's it. We're done. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate everybody that was a part of this one. Shout out to the Methodist Health System for stepping up and sponsoring one of our soccer fields. We now have 2 to do. We have 2 down and 6 to go. That's it. Thank you to Sam. Thank you to LG. We be done. We'll see you boys on Monday. I've gotten a lot better at this YouTubing.
Come back, you puppy!
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
This is a crossbound